Hey everybody, we're finally in business here. We had a few little technical difficulties, but we got it going. I want to introduce you to Lorri Allison Craig, and our topic tonight is "You Deserve to Be Loved by You." So Lori is over in Maui right now. She's a wellness and health coach, helping people make some very serious and enduring lifestyle changes internally, physically, and economically, which is like right on what we need right here during Debruary. She's an entrepreneur, a certified financial planner with more than 25 years of experience in the field of wealth management and financial consulting. She's a certified integrative nutrition health coach and an internationally certified, I think that's pronounced Kundalini, it's a type of yoga instructor, and holds an MBA from California Lutheran University's School of Management. She's here to share her philosophy of uniqueness and love. And I quote her: there are over 7 billion people on earth, and there's not one other person like you. You are awesome. You deserve to be loved by you. Your emotions are a choice created by you. What you believe, what you think. But you can be pretty good at telling yourself 3 lies that block the flow of love into your life. And she's going to share those with you. Join me in welcoming Lorri Craig to Debruary 2021.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Lorri.
I'm so pleased to be here. Hi.
Oh, look at you. And that yellow looks really nice and bright and colorful on you. So let's just talk about this.
Yes, that's what Maui does.
I wanted to know, what are the 3 things that block the flow of love into our lives?
Well, the lies that we tell ourselves, 3 of them: I'm not good enough, I can't cope, and I have no value.
Okay,
And
so I'm
those
not good
things
enough, I
actually
can't cope, and I have no
were
value.
raised, they come from our parents and child in us. Correct. Yes.
Well, I was reading, in the Lori has a book that's kind of in the works, you guys, but it's not available for sale yet. So, but I did get a chance to kind of look at the outline of it. There's going to be some good stuff in there. But you pointed out that many women are taught from childhood to always put other people first, like make other people more, their needs and interests and likes and everything are more important than ours, and that there are many childhood experiences and beliefs that you say impact how we love ourselves as adults. Can you kind of outline what some of those common issues may be for young girls that would form those opinions of themselves later in life?
Mm. I think mothers try to raise children that are giving children, not selfish, but there's a balance in there. It's important for mothers to also uh, talk to their children on a peer-to-peer level, certainly at their level of understanding, but patiently, and make them feel like their opinions are important. Um, and I think it's important that mothers role model, well, I say mothers, but both parents need to model self-love, that role modeling, other things like eating well, doing yoga. I grew up doing Jack LaLanne with my mother on TV.
Me
Those are
too.
important things. Those are things that, stay with you. We used to have family meetings when I was raising my children. So everyone's opinion was important in that family meeting. So they felt valued. And There would be days when I might have had a challenging day coping. So it's important to discuss with your children, hey, I'm not perfect. It was a bad day. I had trouble coping. But you talk about it. Here are the positive things. Like, maybe this is what I should have done. And help them understand that nobody is perfect. Nobody. There's no reason for us to be on earth if we're perfect. So not imposing on yourself that you have to be perfect all the time is important, and sharing that with your children so that they understand that they don't have to be perfect. And I'll talk about grades, for example. Like, grades are grading you on how well you may read or you do your arithmetic, but somehow separate the things that they do that might not be coming up to standard, and separate that from the person. So it's the thing they do separated from you as a human being and an individual. It's important to make that separation so that when they grow up, they feel like they have more value. It's not because, oh, I didn't do this well, therefore I as a person am a lesser human being.
Gotcha.
Does that kind of make sense?
Oh, it makes total sense. And I think that's, a lot of parents don't really do that because they're not really aware of it. So your kid does something naughty or, something they shouldn't have, stick to that behavior. Don't don't condemn the entire child. You're so stupid. You never do anything right. And a lot of parents, I think, what you just said, they don't even think about it. They're just reacting.
Well, and it comes from our parents. A lot of us do what our parents did. And it's important to understand that we are the transition from our parents to our children. And hopefully things improve or change. The world changes, attitudes change, our cultural thoughts change. And so we are the transition.
So why do parents push this agenda that little girls have to serve men and be nice and sacrifice themselves for other people? What is that?
Oh,
I I don't know, feel blessed that my mother, I guess she was a feminist before it was, even popular, before they even really had a word for it. She was already one. So we never had that. Like, I learned to cook, so did my brothers. I learned to paint. They learned to paint and hang sheetrock, so did Deb. So, my they didn't play that kind of stuff, but there's evidence of it everywhere. And so I wanted to get your take on, where does that emanate from?
oh, yay for your mother.
And she's
I've
about
done
this
so
tall,
much
but she was
study on
tough.
this, and it goes back. It goes back thousands of years.
Oh,
Yeah, it goes back to agricultural society, and land had to be passed down in the family. And so they chose that it passed from father to son. Now, I don't know why they chose that. I think it should have gone from mother to daughter, but that's what they decided back then. And though that trickled down effect through all these generations and generations of people, it's still there. But as I said, we are the transition generation, and it's important that we make sure that things are more gender equal. Your mom had it together.
Yeah, I didn't realize that she did until I got, much older. But yeah. Well, let's ask. I wanted to ask you this. When you were talking about the PEW Research Center, which is a group I pretty much trust their research. I reference a lot of their studies myself. And you said that, despite the gains women
Uh,
have made in earnings, education, and prestige, according to the PEW Research Center, that women say that they're less happy than they were in 1972. So, assuming that that research is credible and true, which makes me sad. What do you think is behind women being less happy than they were in 1972? I mean, things have changed and become better for us. How are so many women reporting that they're less happy?
but I think part of it has to do with women getting into corporations. Men and women are getting into uh, bigger companies at approximately the same rate, maybe even a little bit more women. But when they get to middle management, they're kind of getting disgusted with corporate life, that corporate life's putting a lot of pressure on them, especially when they've tried to have families themselves. So that business stress of getting ahead combined with family stress and raising their children, and they're just, how do you balance that business life and your family life? And so women at the middle, between middle management and glass ceiling level, that's where they drop out, because it's hard to do that balance, and a lot of them are giving it up in order to take care of their families. Choosing
Oh,
families is more important.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Have you worked in
So there
middle management? Mm-mm. Yeah, nah, nah,
I
you can
think that
keep that.
expression says it all.
Yeah, nah, it's like you can keep that. I didn't want any parts of that. So I thought that was really interesting though, because
Yeah, there.
so it means basically as women are striving that men aren't really their partners aren't really stepping up. So there's a lot of extra work that's being on women's shoulders. Okay.
That's part of it.
Okay.
The other thing is that corporate structure is masculine dominated.
Masculine dominated. Well, yeah, that's true
So
too.
we need to redefine, restructure business and corporations to nurture that more feminine uh, and very important side to business can be done. And as revolution, I think the doing more the way they're structured. I mean, they're putting in like recreational facilities. They have childcare on site. There are a lot of things that companies can do to make them more woman friendly.
Hmm. Okay. One of the chat room people said that the women always seem to be doing the heavy lifting. That's how she described it. That's interesting. Okay, let's talk
Well,
about financial freedom.
we're heavy lifters.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
All right.
let's talk about this.
And is there something in particular you would like?
Yes, I would like to talk about cultivating financial freedom comes down to knowing your weaknesses and threats. Where did I pull this from? I think from the draft of the book. And you said that the issue is underconfidence in women and overconfidence in investing for men. And I was like, okay, that's really interesting. What makes women have less confidence about handling money? I mean, something we all have to do. And with so many single parent homes, they can't
Uh,
afford to not be confident about how
yes.
they're handling their money.
Women need to be more confident. They need more knowledge before they have confidence to move forward. So it has a lot to do with the confidence level, women's confidence level. Men, they just have testosterone and they apparently just have confidence that comes from that testosterone and they don't need knowledge. I don't know. But it is kind of an interesting thing that when women do get that knowledge, they do better. They are better investors. They get better returns once they have become informed.
Interesting.
Men like to get locker room tips. It's like, hey, buddy, here. So it's interesting, you know, the differences. And I'm not, honestly, I'm really not bashing men. It's just men and women operate differently. And women just need to have more knowledge, to have the confidence. And once they understand, they do very well.
Interesting. So if someone doesn't really, since we're looking at our families of origin, most likely their mothers didn't have much financial savvy. Do you have any tips on how a woman can develop her financial confidence?
Well, I would suggest getting a really basic book. I know personally I give workshops and we just start with the basics. We start with cash flow. We do like the no budget, figure out how much extra money is there for savings. Or if it isn't there, then there's two sides of the equation. One is to increase your income or decrease your spending. There are no other options
Yeah.
in there unless you have a rich uncle. And we get to, okay, we have this amount to save. Where do we start? So I suggest starting with something that's called exchange traded funds, which is a basket of securities. And instead of just taking arm and put in your shopping cart, I'd rather see you fill that shopping cart with maybe 50 different products from that grocery store. And so you start investing that way because the people that manage these funds are really smart. You just need to know, kind of what you like, what you use. Like if you use Johnson and Johnson baby products and household products, or maybe you're into high tech and you use a lot of high tech products like Apple and other things like that, then you want to pick your shopping basket that has a lot of IT or technical products in it.
I see.
Um,
Okay.
so that's one thing. Another thing is to go to these finance websites. They have a lot of information and, just start to become self-informed.
Okay. I wanted to, someone in the chat room has asked a question for you. And she says, do you think confidence is
All right.
connected to all aspects of your life, including finances?
I think it is. I'm thinking about a couple of things here, but I think if you show aspect of your life, it is going to reflect your inner world. So if your outer world is looking good and confident, then that means your inner world is confident. That's how issues, it's like we go the different aspects of your life. We'll analyze, like, how's this one doing? How's this one doing? How's your career looking? How's your environment looking? Is it, tidy and beautiful and nurturing, or is it, chaos? So we look at all these different aspects. How's your eating? How's your movement? Your physical activity. We just look at all of those things, and that's your kind of your report card of the reality that's going on inside you.
Mm, okay. I wanted to find out too, Lorri, how, okay, so, our focus is on self-love, and a lot of women feel like uh, they can, I guess, buy love for themselves. And what I mean is, it's very important to them that they have the latest gadget, the latest iPhone, and that their child only dresses in designer clothes, and all these kind of things that are to me materialistic, superficial things. They have to have this certain name bag, handbag, and all this, and they're looking for something there. I have never really understood it because I would rather look at the money in my bank account than look at that stuff. But there are people, a lot of women who feel better when they buy those kinds of things. What is your take on that as far as, the financial impact and how that demonstrates self-love or lack thereof?
Well, first of all, that would be the younger me. And I roll my eyes at my younger me. It's kind of called shopping therapy. We
Oh,
just have to have the newest fashion. And we have to have our kids and the designer clothes. And we have to have the big house. I can just tell you, I had a husband that built me this gorgeous 4,000 square foot home. It would have been featured in Architectural Digest. I walk in, it's wall-to-wall carpeting, and I'd always clean my own house. Before, this was a new husband, by the way. And I'm like, can I have a riding vacuum cleaner, please? Just the care and maintenance. Do a lot of self-important. Wait, is it respecting other people? it's action process for me. And I guess it's that whole thing. We're put here on earth to learn from our mistakes and become better people as a result of it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've always wondered about that, as I see women going through all those changes, going into debt to do this and put forth this image. And I always wondered, what are you thinking and why aren't you putting that money into your kids for a college fund or something versus, putting it into these things that are going to go in the garbage or to the Goodwill in a few months. Oh, I got that error message again. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. I think we lost our guest for a minute here. She'll be back though. She's having some real problems. These storms are wreaking havoc. Oh, there she is. Is she back? You're back, Lorri?
I
Okay,
am.
there you go. Okay. Said, oh no, she's gone like a puff of smoke.
Oh no.
Yeah, you were
Can you
gone, but
hear
that's
me at
okay.
all or?
Yes, we hear you now fine. Okay, so let's talk about, your story because I remembered seeing one of the things that you mentioned that, you had a husband that died too. That was my story. So how did you get from that to where you are?
Oh,
Yeah, I was
oh
29 years old,
my
29 when you that's right.
word. Well, after 15 years, oh, oh, after caregiving for 15 years, my love bucket, my any bucket was completely empty. There wasn't even a dust bunny. And I ended up hiring a coach. And that coach, like I was sharing with you, we
Mm-hmm.
did an assessment of every different. Myself for being in that particular position, just and my coach had me take Roger Rabbit sized scissors and cut this black cord between everybody that relationship with or a bad experience. So you can't change the past. All you can do is change your future and make a better tomorrow. And if that scissors and cut the cord again, and you just keep cutting it and move forward
Oh,
from
that's very symbolic. That's
there.
that's a good idea actually.
Uh-huh. And then she
Oh.
had me do, list all the things I like about myself. And at first it was a little clunky, but then I found more and more things that I like about myself. And that helped build, some like self-respect in there. It's like, hey, I like me. And I started doing things that were enjoyable. Like I took up my painting again, and I started dancing again, and I started turning the music on and making my environment more nourishing, lighting.
Mm.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm looking at trying to see if there's anything I can do on my end to to upgrade this bandwidth, but nope, can't do anything on this
I
end.
think it's me. We can call it Tropical Zulu.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Hawaii, Hawaii's not doing you well today, Lori. So, what would you say is the secret for our guests to start loving themselves more on a daily basis? What kind of tips can you provide?
I think the first one is for me, if I were to love somebody else, I need to find something about that person I respect. With myself, it's beginning with a lot of things every day. When I'm in the shower, I think about, okay, what can I do today that's going to nourish me? So I might go for a walk. A walk here in Maui is quite lovely.
Hmm.
I might go down to the pool and take a swim, or go bike riding, or play tennis, or paddleball, or, I just have so many things that are fun movement wise. And I think movement is really important. Get the tush off the sofa, uh, move, and uh, I like listening to music a lot, kitchen, and I just,
So those are easy things that they could just really just start doing right away. I and I would like to add in there, ladies, she just gave you a homework assignment is to make a list of the things that you like about yourself. That sounds like a good project.
Mhm.
Okay. So one of the things that I wanted to ask is what do you how do you look for love in another person? How do you look for behaviors from them that show that they're loving you?
Well, I have a lot of experience.
I thought so.
uh, after my after my husband passed away, and I had a certain amount of time that I thought was appropriate, and I had grieved, and okay, I think it's okay. Um, I looked I had a long list of failures.
Mm,
I looked for somebody who would knock my socks off, and was super romantic and exciting, and dashing, good things. And the first 30 days were awesome.
wait,
Start to come
h-
up and
first
get
how
out
many
of this
days?
relationship.
You said days.
First 30 first 30 days
Oh my God.
were great. The second 30 days were red flags. And the third 30, or we're at 90 days now, I'm trying to figure out how to exit. Tell me, stop this. You're making the same mistake over and over and over. Stop dating, take a look at what you're doing, and don't do it anymore.
Easier said than done.
Yeah. So what I realized is that I kept picking narcissistic men.
Did you say narcissistic?
Yes.
Oh.
And I wasn't able to figure it out. Man after man after man. This is really embarrassing.
Hey, we talk about this all the time. It's just us girls here, so it's okay.
And I stopped dating for an entire year. It's like, okay, I have to learn to enjoy myself and love my time with myself. I can't love somebody else until I can love myself, and quality love. And then I happened to be walking around a lake. I was living in Minneapolis at the time and doing my oneness meditation. So there are just Calhoun in Minneapolis. I mean, every color, culture, or person you can imagine. And I just would imagine them being, part of the universe with me. We're all equal parts of the universe. We're just different expressions of that. And so I would do my oneness meditation, and this individual man came up and said, would you mind if we walk and talk for a while? And I said, sure, I'll talk to a tree. So that was good for me. And 100 yards until discovered that he had, the same kind of spiritual, philosophical belief. And it was probably my apartment, and I had to fly to Chicago the next day. And I said, okay, well, let's trade phone numbers here, and then we'll have coffee when I get back from Chicago. And we had coffee, and the conversation went for hours and hours, and we just had all these rich, important things, important things in common, same kind of aspects. And so the conversation continued the following day. We spent all day together talking, and it wasn't all about sweeping somebody off their feet and taking them out, for a $200 meal and giving them gifts and stuff. It was just down to earth, authentic, two people talking. And we've been together ever since. And I think on the second day, he invited me to Florida and Cuba and the Bahamas. That sounds good, but it worried me a little because that sounded like the first 30-day thing where they sweep you off your feet. But it worked out. He was just a real quality person.
Wow, look at you. So once you changed, your energy changed, and then here he came.
Yeah. I just attracted a totally different kind of person.
Well, and the thing I think is like, you could attract people like that to you, but you won't know it because you're not ready. You're not open to it. you're looking for something else. And so once you made that adjustment, you were able to see him. And I think that's something that, a lot of my guests are still working on.
And I might also mention, I wasn't needy.
Right.
My bucket was filled up with me. I was fine. I didn't need anybody else. I could live the rest of my life without somebody. I was happy. And I think that's the secret.
So do you hear that, ladies? Happy with yourself. I keep telling them, but for you to come in with a real life example of how it works, this is perfect. Good job, Lorri. So tell us then, as
Well,
we
good
start,
job.
as we start winding down the interview, let us know what your thoughts are. What does self-love mean from your perspective? And then I'm gonna give you time to let them know where to find you, and maybe sign up for some of these programs that you were talking about.
Well, my website is lorriallisoncraig.com. And there's lots of information on there about wellness and abundance and building these things within is on there for somebody that's, not in Maui. We can have phone conversations, and I'm happy to coach people to the life they want to live.
Okay, and so what about your definition of what self-love is in honor of our
Oh,
self-love theme?
oh, sure. I'm sorry. Well, with me, self-love is having respect for myself. So it's character. With me, it's every day I want to build my richness of character within me. There's a website, I think it's 24 character traits or something like that. And I would just recommend people go there and read about different kinds of character traits. I have my daughter and my granddaughters working on it. So every week they work on a different character trait to build themselves up so that they are more than they were the day before.
Okay, constantly striving to be better. I like that. I like that. Well, Lorri, thank you
Mhm.
so much. And I really hate that we had to struggle through so hard with all these technical issues. Like, man. But what we can do is after the video, if you hear something and you think is really it needs to be emphasized, I invite you to just, type a paragraph out or something underneath the video to kind of
Oh.
clarify in case something is really important and it didn't quite come through the way you wanted it to.
Well,
Don't be embarrassed.
all I can say is we're an emerging market here.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. But I appreciate you coming by.
Technology isn't quite as up to speed.
That's okay, because I think we go to Hawaii, we're not looking to be, doing
Well, I
internet stuff.
That's
Well,
true. You're doing great work. Congratulations.
thank you very much. And thank you as well. And I hope you find a good publisher for your book. I think it'll be dynamite. Once that happens, be sure to reach out and I'll have you back. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Talk to you later.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Mahalo.
Ah, okay, everybody. That was Lorri. And I'm just really sorry that we didn't have a little bit better connection there for you. But like I said, I just, invited her to go back and listen. And if she hears something that, that is very important, to come and she could just type it underneath so you guys can still get the benefit of the message that she was trying to give you. Um, I think that, she pointed out some very interesting things. The number one thing is like, you really can't think that you're going to love anybody else if you don't love yourself. And I know it sounds trite, but it's true. And I think that's the source of that phrase. You teach other people how to treat you. I think, I've been thinking, giving that some thought. I don't really think that's entirely true, but I do believe that a lack of boundaries will allow people into your world that really shouldn't be there, to treat you in ways that they really shouldn't be able to treat you, have access to you that they shouldn't have. So it's not like you teach them to how to treat you. They know very well that what they're doing is wrong. But what happens with a lot of people is that they will tend to be less than honorable and show, less than strong character, and they will just do things to you until you say no. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm saying that's a horrible person. But that's where the boundaries come in, because if you had someone say treated you that way, you would nix them from your life. So we still, we're still working on everything. It's only, Debruary is only halfway done. We still have a lot of great guests for you to still come through, talk to you about self-love, self-esteem, building your self-confidence. You still, hopefully, you're filling in your homework assignments from each video. There should be a lesson in just about every one of them that you need to work on. Okay. And tomorrow we're back to our regular scheduled What the Fuck Tuesday that, we do every week, whether it's February or not. And then on Wednesday I think I have another live stream on Wednesday. Yeah, Dr. Nicole Arcady is coming in, and she's going to be talking about boundaries and how setting boundaries is a sign that you love yourself. Lack of boundaries is a sign that you don't. You're looking for everybody else to love you more than you do. And then we got a couple of uploads for the following 3 days. And then we got quite a few live streams. The final week of February, which ends on the 28th with that panel discussion of six women and me, where we kind of wrap things up and tie everything together. If you have a question or an issue that you want the panel to address, be sure to send it to me prior to the 28th, debsterism@gmail.com, and put in the subject line panel discussion. Okay, so we'll know that that's what it's for, and you're not just sending me an email just to talk. Okay, but I appreciate you guys stopping in. Come on through tomorrow for What the Fuck Tuesday. Be here 6 o'clock sharp on the Pacific Coast time. That's 9 if you're on the East Coast. Okay, I'll see you guys then. Bye bye.